TPOS November 3rd Go Live Awareness. Today we will, before we go on to the actual awareness proper, we just want to start with some important announcements. First is please for maximum receptivity and connectivity to our system in terms of the awareness that we are doing. Please put your audio mute is there below the yellow arrow. And the next one is please also off your video icon, turn off your camera or the video icon. And please, during the awareness, if you have any questions, any queries, please use the chat icon there to send over your questions to the host or to the panelists. Before we also start, I would like to go on to introducing the team. A very good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the webinar awareness for TPOS November 3rd Go Live processes. This is a series of awareness sessions starting today, going on to tomorrow, on to Thursday, and the last session will be held on Tuesday, 27th of October. I am William Onenalote, your host for this awareness webinar. This is the first day of the webinar. It will be on time to pay arrangement. We kindly request you to please keep your mic and camera muted so that there is minimal interference in the sound and also the slides that you will be receiving. The introduction is being done by me. My colleague, Mr. Ranil Prasad, will be doing presentation and demonstration, followed by the question and answer session. Again, kindly requesting if you could please mute your audio button on the left of the screen and video button right next to it. For question and answer session, at the end of the presentation, please feel free to send us your questions through Q&A or the chat section during the webinar. As a reminder, this presentation is being recorded for learning purposes and future improvement. The panelists this morning are Mr. Ranil Prasad, Mrs. Lavanya Lewatu, Mrs. Eleanor Mwana, and myself. I will now let Mr. Ranil Prasad, my colleague, to start the presentation.
Okay, Bula everyone. I'm Ranil Prasad. Going to start with the time to pay arrangement request. Okay, so agenda for today. The host Willimoni has highlighted that we are going to speak on TTPA. Okay, the objective of the presentation. We are going to speak on the overview, major changes, important message, and demo. Okay, overview of time to pay arrangement. Time to pay arrangement facilitates taxpayer requests to apply for installment payments instead of one-off settlement based on genuine financial constraints. As per Section 25 of the Tax Administration Act of 2009, CEO may grant extension of time to pay tax after FIJI has analyzed the taxpayer's financial status. There is a compliance check done by the system where system checks for pending filing obligation at tax type level. Okay, please be mindful this tax type level. Sorry. The application will have two-level workflow approval process. This is internal process in FRCS. It will be reviewed by a tax officer and approved senior officer. Okay, it is mandatory for taxpayer to pay a down payment with a minimum 10% of the total amount requested. If the taxpayer defaults on any installment payment or down payment, the entire plan will be revoked, and the total liabilities, including all related penalties will be immediately payable. In entities, posting is at tax type level. See, once again, this is highlighted. I will explain you further as we go along what is tax type level and what is TIN level. And as such, the installment plan will also be created at tax type level. Okay, now major changes as is and to be. In as is process, manual TTPA request was followed. Taxpayer, they used to visit FRCS, right, and negotiate and make arrangement to pay. Supporting documents attached with TTPA application, taxpayer can always choose the amount for TTPA and that can exclude penalty. Taxpayer can request at TIN level. Okay. To be processed online request, the system will pre-populate all the outstanding liabilities for the tax type selected inclusive of penalties. Transparency, where taxpayer can keep track of TTPA plan. Taxpayer can request at tax type level. Okay. Now you can see in as is TIN level and to be is tax type level. So TIN level basically is all the tax type was consolidated and one single TTPA was issued, time to pay arrangement. And the tax type level in entities to be is demarcated between all the tax type, which is VAT, FBT, and etc. So the taxpayers in entities in new system, they have to apply separately for each tax types. Okay, important message. FRCS will facilitate manual application till 30th October 2020, and will go live in entities from 3rd November 2020, especially for VAT, STT, ECAL, prescribed service, telecom levy, and FBT. For other tax type, which is income tax and PY, FRCS will facilitate manual application. The first payment displayed in the time to pay arrangement is down payment, then followed by installment payments listed thereafter with the amount and the due date for payments. If any of the payments listed is not paid within 7 days, consecutive 7 days period from their respective due dates, the TTPA is revoked by the system. So taxpayers, they have to be mindful of the down payment installment as well, regardless of the monthly payments. Okay, now I will be showing you a demo how taxpayer can go about applying for tax TTPA. Okay, so on the screen you need to log in. Please note a disclaimer that this tin that I'm going to use is for testing. This is the dummy data that is used in our quality environment. Okay, so once taxpayer they input their username and password, they will see this screen, right? So you can see there are some notifications in filing obligations and payment obligation. These two are our key tiles, of course, for the request tile, right? So now if taxpayer has payment obligation, click on payment obligation tile, and they will see number of payment obligation, right? Different tax types. Right. So we can see 3 different tax types here, which is PY, FBT, and VAT. Now suppose taxpayer wants to apply for FBT. We go to request tile, we click on request, right? you can see there are many options given, right? We click on time to pay arrangement. Again, there's a supporting tab. We click on request for time to pay arrangement. Right. So taxpayer will receive these instructions before they proceed. We can quickly go over these. The request shall be granted to sole discretion of CEO upon satisfaction that there is reasonable cause to grant the application. Second bullet is, please note that you are required to detail the reason for extension request. Third bullet is, you are required to upload any documents supporting your claim. Fourth bullet, upon submission, the acknowledgement receipt shall be generated and you may download a copy for your reference. Fifth bullet, after TPA is granted, if there is a default payment, then the TPA is revoked and the liability is payable immediately. Sixth bullet, the acknowledgement receipt generated with the submission of a request cannot be considered as request been granted. Taxpayer will be communicated on approval rejection separately. 7. On approval, taxpayer will be communicated with the installment amount and due dates. And the last, field marked with an asterisk are mandatory field. Right, so taxpayer, after reading all this, they can click on this checkbox and continue to next step. Now here, since we were highlighting that to be process will be in text type level, before as is right now it is in tin level, right? So taxpayer will click on this drop down and they will see the text types they can apply for TTPA. So we saw 3 text type in payment application, which was PAY, FBT and VAT. So I am going to choose FBT right now. Reason for extension, taxpayers can put any reasons and they can put a note. And they can explain further on this. For the demo purpose, I will just put as a short note. Okay, now see the warning message comes in, please file your outstanding returns, right? So FBT, it should be having a filing obligation. Now we go to home, we go to filing obligation. So we can select a text type, text return, FBT, right? The status, these are filed, these are overdue. Okay, so one thing to note to the public is that when a particular text type has outstanding filing obligation, then the TTP will not go through, right? Okay, let's look at for VAT. Okay, VAT, both of the periods are filed, right? Let's go to home, let's go to payment obligation, click on VAT again, and it has payment obligation. And so the rule here is there should not be any filing obligation, only payment obligation to apply for TTPA. Now let's go and try for VAT. Request style again, time to pay arrangement. Again do the declaration, continue. For VAT, so you see once I continue, it proceeded further, right? And all the outstanding obligations, payment obligations will be populated here. You can always cross check this amount with the amount in payments obligation and also in your STA. Right, now you continue to next step. Okay, so remember system is flexible, right? taxpayers, they can choose the duration they want, but it's upon the office, the tax office, and their discretion to grant or not to grant the TTPA, right? So I'm going to choose for 3 months, right, with a down payment rate of 15%. So you can see this, once you select a down payment rate, the down payment amount will be generated, and each installments will be generated here on this table. Now we click on continue, next step. Okay, so here are attachments which are taxpayers they need to upload, right, given on your nature of the business, right, uh, and your TTPA request. So you need to upload your documents, right. One important document here is a recent bank statement. Before uploading, we need to save it. Remember, once you save, this is the reference number generated. You can always copy and save your reference number. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to upload bank statement. Click on bank statement and upload. Bank statement is uploaded. Status listing. Status list. And I'll upload one more, which is cash flow statements. Right. So I have uploaded 3 documents. Remember, one document is important, which is mandatory, is the recent bank statement. Right. The others are optional. But however, if FRCS, the officers, they need more statements, they will always get back to you. Right. So after this, I continue. Okay. So this screen will only appear if a company, partnership, apart from any other sole trader or individual, is filing the TTPA. Right. So the representative of the business, either accountant, CFO, company secretary, director, manager, partner, tax agent, is filing this TTPA. Right. So I will enter a representative's TIN number. And choose as accountant. Right. Do the final declaration and submit this form. Remember, this is electronic form which we are filing. We are going paperless, so these are electronic, right? So once you get this screen, you can always download the confirmation. Your reference number is also noted here. You can always download the confirmation. This confirmation is also uploaded in your correspondence tab. This is how your acknowledgement letter will look like. So within 3 days, FRCS will get back to you within your time to pay arrangement. Shall the 3 days has exited, you can always use this reference number and go back to FRCS to consult what is the status of your document, your online document, right? That acknowledgement letter will be uploaded in your correspondence tab. It will be generated here. So all those correspondence, any correspondence TTPA, everything will be captured here on your correspondence tab. So few important things to note is that if TTPA, if there is any filing obligation, taxpayer they need to file. for other tax type, and if they have to apply for another tax type, they have to again go to request and apply for another tax type. For those one which are not gone live, which is income tax and PY, they have to manually file TTPA, visit FRCS and manual file. For those which are live, they can always use this TPOS and file their TTPA. Okay, so this is all from my side. And now I will hand it over to our host, Vilimone Nalutei. And thank you all for this presentation.
Thanks a lot, Ranil. Thanks to all participants. I hope that actually learning has come across. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for bearing with us today and actually attending this awareness session regarding one of the 4 TPOS processes that will go live from November 3rd, 2020. So without further ado, actually a question is just coming, so I will just give it over to Ms. Lavinia, who will be going through the question that is coming and some important announcements also before we end the session. Over to you, Lavinia.
Thank you very much. The question that came in this morning was, from when is the time to pay arrangement is effective? Before, because currently in TPOS for clients, we can only request for statements. We don't get other options as shown below. For your information, the time to pay arrangement will be going live on the 3rd of November, 2020. We will stop all manual applications that will be filed in FRCS on 30th October 2020. So all new applications will be requested in the taxpayer request, which is online on the 3rd of November 2020.
So thank you, La, for that very detailed explanation on that. In fact, only one question came through. So while we are here, please feel free to still send in. The platform is still open to send in some questions. And also, we got our contact center, which is open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Daily, from Monday to Friday, and also on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And also, you can call us on the hotline 1326 or send us email on info@frcs.org.fj, or you can visit any of our branches throughout the country. And we look forward to working with you and making this November that go live on this time to pay arrangement TPOS process a success. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your participation this morning. We have noted your question and input, and the team will endeavor to address this with you. We may be contacting you individually in case you have some issues that you want to bring up. Please join us this afternoon. For those of you that still want more information, you still want you still need more to know on this time to pay arrangement, we have another session starting at 2:30 p.m. For your information, this is the reason why we are doing 2 sessions, because we understand that you are busy with your business, and also we understand that you are important to the economy, you are important to FRCS, and we are flexible with these 2 sessions. Initially, we started with only 1 session, so please, if you still want more clarification, you still have another session for time to pay arrangement in the afternoon. You can use the same login link and password if you use this morning for afternoon session in case you want to join. Before we end, we would like to ask all the participants today to please spare a few minutes and go to the SurveyMonkey link shown on the screen and fill in the feedback survey. Your feedback is important and will help us improve. I leave this screen on for a few minutes so that you can note down or screenshot the link before we end the meeting. With these few words, thank you all once again. Stay safe and goodbye.